Here's something that'll blow your mind. Last year, the most talked about fragrance releases got millions of views and sold out instantly. But here's the crazy part. When fragrance experts blind tested 2025's releases, none of those viral hits made the top 10. Not even close. So what does that tell you about where we're getting our fragrance advice? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jesse, and I'm glad you clicked on this video. Today we're diving into something that's been eating at me for months. While everyone's been chasing the same hyped releases, there's a whole universe of incredible 2025 fragrances sitting on shelves, completely ignored. And I'm talking about scents that could easily become your signature, your secret weapon, your what are you wearing moment. I've got 10 releases here that prove quality doesn't always come with a million followers behind it. Some have controversial packaging, others come from brands you've never heard of, and a few are limited editions that somehow flew under everyone's radar. But here's what they all have in common. They smell absolutely incredible. Let's be honest about what's happening in the fragrance world right now. We've created this weird cycle where a cologne gets one viral TikTok, suddenly everyone's buying it, and then 6 months later, you smell it on 3 different guys at the grocery store. Meanwhile, genuinely innovative releases with better performance and more interesting compositions are gathering dust because they don't have the marketing budget or the right influencer behind them. I get it. With hundreds of new releases every year, how do you even know where to start? You see a fragrance with 0 reviews online, maybe the bottle looks weird, or the brand name doesn't ring a bell, so you skip it. That's exactly how these hidden gems stay hidden. But here's what's fascinating about 2025's fragrance landscape. The most interesting innovations are happening in unexpected places. Take Carolina Herrera. They released something so bold this year that people are either obsessed or completely turned off by the packaging alone. Or look at Zimaya, a brand most people can't even pronounce, creating scents that rival luxury houses at a fraction of the price. The trends this year are all about breaking rules. Leather is showing up in fresh summer compositions. Iris is becoming the new power note for masculine scents. And brands are finally admitting that the line between masculine and feminine fragrances was always just marketing anyway. What's really happening is that perfumers are getting more creative freedom when they're not trying to create the next viral hit. They're focusing on longevity, complexity, and that magic moment when someone stops you to ask what you're wearing. And here's the secret that's going to change how you discover fragrances in 2025. The best releases aren't the ones getting the most attention. They're the ones being deliberately overlooked because they don't fit the algorithm. Whether it's a bottle design that's too polarizing for mass appeal or a scent profile that's too sophisticated for a 15-second review. These fragrances are being passed by. So let's talk about these 10 incredible releases that deserve way more attention than they're getting. Carolina Herrera CH Men Wild Love might have the most controversial bottle of the year. That leopard print, almost fur-like texture, has people calling it everything from bold to bizarre. But once you get past the packaging, this is pure genius. The sage opening is unlike anything else this year. It's herbal, but not medicinal. Fresh, but not boring. Then that patchouli comes through with this earthy sophistication that grounds everything perfectly. The leather base is what makes this special though. It's not the aggressive leather you might expect, but this smooth, almost creamy leather that plays beautifully with your skin chemistry. Performance is solid, 6 to 8 hours, and the projection is just right. Noticeable without being overwhelming. Perfect for fall and winter evenings when you want something distinctive. 212 VIP Black New York Rodeo is Carolina Herrera's limited edition that somehow got lost in the shuffle of their other releases. This one opens with this incredible wild lavender that immediately sets it apart from every other aromatic fragrance out there. The rosemary adds this almost Mediterranean vibe, while the absinthe brings an unexpected twist that keeps you coming back for more sniffs. The leather note here is different from Wild Love. It's more structured, almost like a luxury jacket. The vetiver and patchouli base gives it incredible staying power and depth. This is versatile enough for day wear, but sophisticated enough for evening. The longevity is impressive, easily 8 hours with moderate sillage. Now, Zimaya's Inecas Luna is where things get really interesting. If you've never heard of Zimaya, you're not alone, but this UAE-based brand is creating some serious magic. Inecas Luna opens with this burst of bergamot and orange that immediately grabs your attention. But here's where it gets special. The iris and chestnut combination in the heart creates this creamy, almost nutty sweetness that's absolutely addictive. The orange blossom adds just enough floral touch without making it feminine. And that base, leather and amber working together to create this warm, inviting dry down that lasts for hours. For around $35, this is performing like fragrances 3 times the price. The bottle presentation is stunning too, with this semi-mirrored glass that looks way more expensive than it is. Kenzo Home Indigo represents everything that's exciting about aquatic fragrances in 2025. Forget those boring generic blue bottles from the 2000s. This opens with these sea notes that actually smell like standing on a rocky coastline, not like a swimming pool. The iris in the heart is what makes this special. It adds this creamy, almost powdery texture that balances the aquatic freshness perfectly. The leather and sandalwood base, combined with that akigala wood, creates this unique mineral woody dry down that's unlike any other aquatic fragrance out there. The longevity surprised me. 6 to 7 hours with good projection for the first few hours. Perfect for spring and summer, especially if you're tired of the same old citrus-heavy summer fragrances. Here's a curveball: diesel only the brave. Now I know what you're thinking. This isn't new, it's been around since 2009. But here's the thing, somehow this incredible fragrance got completely overshadowed by flashier releases and never got the recognition it deserved. The opening combines Amalfi lemon and mandarin in this bright, energetic way that immediately puts you in a good mood. The heart is where the magic happens though. Violet, Virginia cedar, and coriander create this unique aromatic blend that's fresh but substantial. The base is rich with amber, leather, benzoin, labdanum, and styrax, giving it incredible depth and longevity. This is performing like a niche fragrance but available at designer prices. If you miss this one the first time around, 2025 is the perfect time to discover it. Burberry Hero Parfum Intense takes everything great about the original Hero line and amplifies it. The black pepper opening is immediate and attention-grabbing, but not overwhelming. The leather heart is where this really shines. It's this rich, luxurious leather that feels expensive and sophisticated. The cedar trio in the base creates this woody foundation that's warm and inviting. This is definitely a fall and winter fragrance with incredible performance and projection, 8 to 10 hours easily, with strong sillage for the first few hours, perfect for evening wear or when you want to make a statement. Issey Miyake Lo Dise EDP is fascinating because it's both familiar and completely different from what you might expect. The rose and lotus opening is surprisingly masculine. It's not the typical rose you might think of, but this green fresh rose that immediately sets a sophisticated tone. The lily and white flowers in the heart add complexity without becoming overwhelming. The precious woods base grounds everything perfectly, creating this clean but substantial dry down. This is perfect for guys who want to explore floral fragrances but aren't ready for something too bold. Great performance and incredibly versatile. French Avenue Opus Magnum is probably the most niche style fragrance on this list. The opening is intense. Incense, cardamom, basil, and bergamot create this spicy, almost mystical beginning that immediately transports you. The tobacco and fenugreek heart combined with lavender creates this unique aromatic profile that's both familiar and exotic. The base is where this really shows its quality. Peru balsam, tonka bean, oud, and amber create this rich, complex foundation that evolves beautifully over hours. This is definitely for fragrance enthusiasts who want something bold and unique. Performance is excellent with strong projection and all-day longevity. Calvin Klein Eternity Amber Essence is polarizing in the best way. The Italian Mandarin opening is bright and fresh, but then that amber heart hits and creates this rich, almost syrupy sweetness that some people absolutely love and others find overwhelming. The benzoin and bourbon vanilla base adds this gourmand quality that's incredibly comforting and addictive. If you like sweet, warm fragrances, this could become your signature. The performance is solid, 6 to 8 hours with moderate projection. Perfect for cooler weather when you want something cozy and inviting. Finally, Boss Bottled Bold Citrus rounds out our list with this limited edition that somehow didn't get the attention it deserved. The Primo Fiore Lemon and Bergamot opening is incredibly fresh and energizing. Perfect for those days when you need an instant mood boost. The Alemian Geranium Heart adds this unique resinous floral quality that sets it apart from typical citrus fragrances. The Patchouli and Vetiver base gives it surprising depth and longevity for a citrus-forward fragrance. This is perfect for spring and summer, offering something different from the usual aquatic summer releases. What all these fragrances prove is that 2025's best releases aren't necessarily the ones getting the most buzz online. Whether it's controversial packaging, unconventional marketing, or just being released by brands that don't have massive social media followings, incredible fragrances are being overlooked every day. The secret isn't following what everyone else is buying, it's being willing to explore, to try that weird bottle, to give that brand you've never heard of a chance. Because somewhere in that exploration, you'll find your signature scent, the fragrance that makes people stop and ask what you're wearing. These 10 fragrances represent some of the best quality, most interesting compositions of 2025. And most people will never even know they exist. But now you do. So here's my challenge for you. Which of these fragrances caught your attention? Drop a comment and let me know which one you're most curious about. Or if you've tried any of these, share your thoughts. And hey, if you found a hidden gem this year that deserves more attention, tell us about it. The fragrance community is all about discovery, and the best finds often come from sharing our experiences with each other. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, smell and feel good. Stay fragrant.